Hello, my name is Blanca Vergara from Parenting the Gods. And today we have a great conversation partner with us. This is Meriam Jansen. Welcome here, Meriam. Meriam is the founder of Natural Feminine Leadership. She helps women to connect with their mission and make their mission reality, both in business and in their personal life. And having a conversation with her, we discovered that it is very likely that this was influenced by the fact that she's also a mother of three ladies. And she's not only a mother, but she's also a grandmother. And she has 4 grandchildren, 3 boys and 1 girl. Thank you very much, Meriam, for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, Blanca. I'm so glad you invited me because when we see and speak and feel each other, every time something happens which touches both our hearts. We don't know how it happened, but it happens. So it will be a wonderful conversation this time again. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. I'm sure that it will be because you see, our missions are really joined together. The mission of Meriam is the mission of her business to help women to connect with their vision and make it true. And my mission is to help people to build that legacy for their children. So what happens when you make your mission true? Well, you are leaving your legacy to your children. So that's how we join forces here. And talking with Meriam, I learned that her life was quite influenced by motherhood. So I would like to start there by the genesis. Could you start telling us, introducing us to your world, how everything started for you?
Okay. I start when I was a younger girl, and I grew up between 5 brothers. And in this family, because of being alone, I didn't have sisters, and I still regret it. I was a little bit lonely. I was very lonely, I have to say. But at the same time, I behaved like a boy. I liked to climb into the trees. I didn't love pink colored dresses. I couldn't behave between the girls because they were too girly. I don't know, something like that. And I missed the way of speaking of the boys. I missed something in this. So that was difficult. Okay, that was the beginning, and that was why I have to learn and to experience this to be able to do this what I'm doing now. Because when I married, I got 3 daughters, and that was great. Because when the 3rd daughter told us that she was coming, I still hoped it was a girl, because otherwise there could be a possibility to be alone as a boy between girls, and feeling that loneliness, I didn't want to have her a part of her life. But okay, it was a girl. When I was 27, my first daughter was born, and when I was pregnant of her, I got a poem of Khalil Gibran, and it was so, it was, I never heard of him, but it was a poem, and the most important thing of that poem was, know that your children don't belong to you. You can love them, but if not, it's okay. They can love you, but if not, it's okay. that was a message she already gave to me when I was pregnant. And like it sometimes goes with the eldest children, they have the most difficult time because you, as a firstborn child, your parents have to learn everything, what it is to have a child, what it is. In my time, when I was younger, there was no possibility to work again. In my profession, there was no possibility.
What was your profession?
I was a teacher at that moment, and the only possibility was to teach full time, but the part-time function wasn't available, and it was terrible for me. It was really terrible for me and also for my eldest daughter, because I missed so much in only educating my own child, being at home between the four walls. So it was difficult for both of us. So and after that I got work again. It lasted only 1.5 years, and then I had to work again, and then I find another work part-time for 1.5 days, and it was enough. I could be there for my children, and I could work what I loved in that time. So that was the beginning, and after that 2 other children came. And I think it's the most important part, what I have learned of my children because of my eldest daughter. She's now such a wonderful, inspiring woman, but she has to go through terrible, difficult paths. She had to go her own way, and she did it not in a way that was common. And I can say she learned me so much that I afterwards understood that children, my daughter has, how do I say it in English? They made my path to spirituality. They made my path through my own heart and soul. And it went on a hard way, but I went on a hard way to my heart.
Wow. Do you have a story of how that happened?
The best remembering is she lived a life, and we knew it was not good for her. She wasn't living alone. Oh, I had the first time. She went to India when she was 18 years old, and she didn't know where on earth India lies. She went with a plane, and she didn't know where the plane would land. She didn't know anything of the culture of India. And she was also a child living in the clouds and not with the feet on the earth. And she went to India for 6 weeks. And everybody told to me, isn't it terrible for you? You will not sleep anymore. And I told everybody, but I will sleep every night, because when something will happen, they will phone me. When I don't sleep, it's not good. It's not good for myself, and it doesn't help her. You have to sleep, Meriam. And she already learned myself that, because when she went out, when she was 14, 16, she came at home at 5 in the night. Or she came at home 3 o'clock in the night. She was too young to go out and coming home so late, but she did. And I promised myself I will sleep. It doesn't help her when I don't sleep. Okay. She went to India, and I knew there was something in me who told she will manage there. I don't know why. I know she can't find. She couldn't in our country. She couldn't find a way from Amsterdam to Nijmegen. She didn't know where everything was on Earth. How do you say it? Where it lies on Earth. So how could she find it in India? But she went, and I knew it has to be. And she has an archangel who will protect her. I felt it. And the friends and my family didn't understood my feelings, but I knew. And did you know it was so wonderful. She went for 6 weeks. She was backpacking, and it was much too heavy. But she didn't want that I interrupted her. She has to do it on her own way with a much too heavy backpack. She went away, and we didn't hear anything from her. 1 week later, I came late at home, and it was 11 in the evening, and I went to the front door, and I opened the front door, and there she stood. And I said, "What happened?" "I will tell you, Mom." And for the first time, she hugged me. She was 18 years old, and it was almost 18 years not having physical contact. She every time she said, "No, Mom, no." So she hugged me, and she told me that evening her story, being in India, feeling the heat, smelling what's that? How India likes.
Yeah, the
smells. The dust. No, not the dust.
The thing that they burn, huh?
No, not what they burned.
The
but
incense?
It was the streets were dirty.
Okay. Yeah.
It smelled dirty, and so crowded, and so much noise. It was too much of everything your sentences could bear. And she was there in a hotel, and she was lonely, and being at home so far away from us, at that moment she understood what it has to mean to have parents who loved her. And then she decided, I don't want to be here. I want to go home. And she wrote down everything, and she told us that evening what she felt and how she loved us. So what I learned is by letting it go and feeling the trust that she will be guided and that she has to go her own path. Letting go will bring your daughter back.
Mm.
It was wonderful. And for the first time in our lives, we were so close for some years. There happened more, but that was beautiful.
That's really profound. And this letting go is very profound because then you learn to let your daughter go. Where did the journey continue with letting go?
Mm.
I don't know if with her or with something else. Did it bring you deeper somewhere, other places?
Yes. You mean the story with my daughter?
I don't know. I'm curious what will come.
Yes.
what goes in your mind with this question?
Yes, what is coming in my mind has again to do with my daughter, because she is such a spiritual teacher, a great teacher is she. She belonged, she came into a world after 2 years where she was, where she lost herself. She, when I visited her in her room, she was sitting there doing nothing, eating nothing, being apathic. And we couldn't reach her, we couldn't speak to her. And it hurts. It hurts. Also, when your daughter is 19, 20 years old, it hurts so much. And she wasn't nice to us. And every night I went to bed and was so sad and crying and angry. I was so angry at her. What the hell is she doing? And that lasted a long time. And at last, I felt something, and it was when I am staying in thinking in this way, what is she doing? And she is not doing the right way. Then I will program myself in this will not change anything when I think this. And what the only thing what will happen that I close my heart for her. I can't feel the pain anymore, so I want to close my heart, but that's the wrong way. When you close, you make you make a wall between you and her, and that's I did first, and then I understood what I did, and I said, no, Miriam, you won't. That's not a good way. It's this moment I feel it again. And I said, what she does is what she has to do. It's her life, not mine. And the only thing I have to do is opening the door of my house and the door of my heart. And that was, I have to learn that, of course. And she triggered me several times, but I had made this decision, and this is what I learned. When you make a decision, be strong to confirm, and be strong in holding this, because you know it's the only way.
But this is very powerful.
Ah.
Because it's very easy for us mothers to fall into the world of this is the way things have to be, this is what needs to be right. But that's not loving. That just closes, that creates a barrier between the children and us, and that doesn't build love. That's not love.
But when you have a child who is not doing what your expectations are, that's the best girl you can have. That's the best boy you can have.
Yeah.
In this way you can
tell me more about that. Tell me more about that, because I think everybody is very interested in this topic, that the child doesn't meet my expectations. Yes. Why is it good?
Well, they are your expectation. They belong to you, and it's maybe what you have missed in your world that you want to have your daughter will or your son will fulfill, but it's yours. Everybody, I mean, we see our children as beings who have to experience their own life with their own failures, but failures are no failures, with their own experiences. you have to, as to be able to grow as being, as a soul. You have to. So every difficulty is a miracle. Can be, is so powerful, is full of potential. You only have to, really, you only have to see it.
Oh, this is so beautiful. I wrote it down, and I want to say it again because it touched my heart. Every difficulty is a miracle. It is full of potential. You just have to see it. And it doesn't matter how old the child is, even if hasn't been born.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have memories of, I don't know, before her conception or pregnancy or early childhood?
No,
Or birth, maybe that's interesting.
What?
Birth, her birth.
Her birth was difficult. Was difficult, and she came quick. She came quick, and it was difficult. At last, the doctor has to help her because there was a little bit. There was one small moment that we thought you have to go to hospital because it's not good, but afterwards it went okay. She yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know. That comes, I don't know what I have to say. I believe she wants to say something, but I can't yet interpreteren.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I don't know. It was also the time when I was lonely in my marriage. So it's I had to learn a lot. I have learned a lot, and I'm so happy. I grew older now, and having experienced what I have experienced. Yes, but okay, back to my children. No, it is with the three of my children. It is such important that the first one, and I'm so grateful to her, that the first one made in different forms the path for also the other in the physical, but also what I in myself could develop in making connection with my heart and making connection with my feminine qualities. Mm-hmm. It makes me, I was rational, analytical, and now I am, what is it, soft? I feel tender, so much tenderness in myself. I've learned to love myself. I love myself so much. It's so, myself as a being. So wonderful to be on earth. And my daughters, because of my eldest daughter, I could also help my second daughter. Because, of course, your children come to you because you need, both need each other in some way. Also, my second daughter needed me and needed that I had to develop some spiritual feelings, that there is, not everything has to be proved. You can, in some way, you can do intuitive things. And they are sometimes, most of the times, I think, the best things you can do. And that's the best thing you can have. You can help your children. Making, I always say, dance with your brain and your heart.
Mm.
And let your heart be the chief of the ship. Yes. I have developed my intuition thanks to my children.
Do you have a story that it doesn't matter which one of your children that that you remember that shows that?
Yes, when my second daughter gave birth to her son, she the day after we went to her, and she asked me to come, not her father, but me to come to her. And she was crying, and she said, I can't feel myself. And at that moment, I felt she, because of the giving birth, she went into other spheres, into other dimensions. I felt she was not in her body. And what I do, afterwards I know what I did, but the only thing what I did is laying my hands on her head and on her legs. And it's always my way, not in telling and communicating with the other person, that she has to work, that we have to work together. So where are you? Feel your head, feel your legs, and let us make a connection between them. Okay, step by step, let's make a connection between head and feet. That's what I did. And whew, she was there. And I also remember there was a year later, I was walking alone in the wood. My phone rings. She was there and she told me, Mom, I'm out again. What can I do? I said, okay, sit down, breathe, feel your feet, and you don't have to learn it. Let your words uh, be like a flow. Be like a flow. Don't think about it. Do. Just do. Not think and do, but do. Don't think, isn't it strange what I'm doing here? No, do.
Yeah, this is so beautiful because of course you were not taught this by anybody. You just did it.
Yeah.
And without labels that is this spiritual, is this your body, is this is what I need to do now.
Yeah. And it's going, I had to develop this flow of words coming out of my heart, and that they can come here and they come from here.
Yeah.
And sometimes I am saying that, as you do too, you say to people things afterwards, you say, did I say that? Yes. And it is beautiful. It's beautiful to for me that I could develop the stream of words coming out of my heart. Yes. And you know what?
Yes.
You know what? Why it is so important now? When you talk from your heart, when I talk from my heart, it sounds like this. When I talk from my head, then I think a little bit more, and then my voice is different.
Yeah.
And speaking from your heart, there is another feeling. It's combined with feelings. This is more empty. It's cold, and this is warm.
Yeah. Because maybe a way of getting you to go deeper into why is this so important, that Miriam of, I don't know, 40, 50 years ago didn't know all these things. And particularly that child who was playing and climbing trees and being very tomboy didn't know all these subtleties.
No.
So if we put together this, your inner child, that girl climbing trees, what is what you have learned with all this experience? What's the difference between that young you and this today you?
I'm so happy I behaved like a boy. Yes, because I love it too. And but that was a part I still knew. And now I have fulfilled myself with something I had to learn. And it is, I have made a connection between it. That is what happens. I can follow the people and understand the people who are live most of the time of their head, analytical and rational and scientists and so on. I understand it because I love it also, and I can feel what I can feel, and so that's because I say I can dance with my head and my heart, and it made me happy. It made my finding my mission, finding the meaning, because the meaning why I am on earth makes me happy, and makes also that when difficult things happen, and this happened again, of course, that belongs also to life. I Now I'm not. I don't have to be depressed because of that. There is on. I have made. How do you call it in vruchtbare aarde?
The fertile earth.
Fertile earth. Yes.
Fertile earth, fertile ground.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Oh God. This really gave me the chills now. Yeah. It's somehow very clear to me, but you're so good at clarifying things further. What is this fertile ground?
The fertile ground is a source where you can find everything. You can find their solutions. You can find their warmth, arms who are hugging you. You can find their a bed lying on. There is always an answer. And you find their love. And the love for yourself. And like a fertile earth, there are so many seeds and roots and connections. So every time expansion is possible and growth is possible, you only have to feed it. Make connection with it. Also in the fertile earth, like the roots of the tree, everything is connected. You are part of the whole. So as above as below.
Oh, this for me is almost like completion of our conversation. It's such a profound level of conversation. These last sentences. Maybe the last sentence provokes me to remember something specific that we discussed before, that you have learned that healing yourself heals your daughter or your daughters or even your customers, your neighbors, your share with girls, if you please, one of those experiences, because I bet that you have many of those, and just pick one.
When I think of my customers, yes, it's when I was a teacher and I have schools, not also students, but I have teach schools how to make their plans and what to change in their organization. And I have searched for how do you diagnostic tests with children. What is the meaning of, what are the difficulties? So that was also I learned with some rules, because with words and with tests. That is my background. I needed tests. And now I have also when the customer is coming, I have an idea. I have an intention. We know what is the meaning. We know what the goal of the customer is. And most of the time I invite them in my house, because in my house I have, in my garden I have secret geometric figure. That is the physical pieces, the two circles going together, connecting together. And what I do when I feel this, in the one circle is the female part, the other circle is the male part, and in the where they elkaar overlappen, where they find each other, there is the creation. And sometimes I invite my customer to enter this place. And before she can enters it, I ask her that she has to lay down something that haar barricadeert, what
blocks her.
Blocks her. And and then she is going in that secret geometry, in the physical pieces, and she is searching for the place where have I to stay. And then we do a meditation, and then I say, be there in this place, in this space, and feel what happens. And then she stays for a quarter of an hour. And sometimes I say, come on, lay down on the ground. And the only thing I have to do is to protect the area and be there with my soul and my heart, with the place, with the space, and with the customer. And so many insights are coming. So many things what blocks her, can she leave there? And afterwards, he's going out. And then we are making a plan. What happens? What can you do with it? What is your goal now? And don't focus on your goal, focus on the process. See what happens, see what's helping you. But what happens in this space, there are so many things I can't do, but this form can. We are working together.
Yeah.
It's a holy space, yes.
But what I love what you're saying on your work, which I think is important for the mothers who are listening to us, is that you are doing something very powerful, is that you are holding that space. You are creating that protection, that being there, and this being passive of the feminine nature has nothing passive about it. Just to hold that sacred space that in your garden is your garden, at home is the home, is tremendously powerful. Is as you say, we are working together.
That is this lookalike, invisible, passive, this passive idea, this passive intention is one of the greatest values of the female, of the woman. We are like water. We are not always. We can also be the waterfall, but we are also the water going in the tiny spaces and finding. We also always find a way. We are the women of the transformation. We can transform. We can give birth to the physical creation, but also to creation in what form. Also, women of my age can give birth to a new creation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because of what you're talking of, the fertile ground is everything there. Everything. My dear Meriam, we're reaching the end of the interview. It's absolutely impossible to ever finish a conversation with you because there is so much to share. But get back close to your intuition, that close to your heart, that I know you are in there, and maybe there find the last words to say goodbye to people.
Yeah. The place where you always find peace is in your heart, and what you also find there is your unique gift. I really know that everybody has a unique gift. We only have to find it. And then you'll always be happy. Thank you, Blanca.
Thanks to you. This is just a perfect closing. Thank you very much, Meriam, for being here with us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Of course, I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our newsletter, to come to our events. We are delighted. And of course, join the conversation. Send us comments. We love to hear from you. Thank you very much.